Ladies and gentlemen, the arrival of His Excellency, Consul General of Malaysia to Dubai, Muhammad Hasril Abdul Hamid. You may have a seat. Alright, good afternoon everyone and welcome our dear guests from media in the UAE. So how's everybody? Good. Wow, that's amazing. Alright, so a warm welcome also to our lovely friends from Malaysia. Can we give a round of applause to each and everyone? So everyone is looking forward to the world's greatest show happening exactly 1 year from now, the Expo 2020 Dubai. And today, we are gathered here to listen to the important messages from one of the participants in Expo 2020 Dubai, Malaysia. And we would like to acknowledge the presence of these very important people who play a very vital role in making this Expo 2020 Dubai a huge success, especially for Malaysia. So ladies and gentlemen, may I acknowledge the presence of His Excellency Muhammad Hasril Abdul Hamid, Consul General of Malaysia to UAE to Dubai. Can we give a round of applause, please? And also present today, Dr. Muhammad Nur Asman Hassan, the Deputy Commissioner General of Malaysia's participation to the Expo 2020 Dubai and the Deputy Secretary General of the Ministry of Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change or MESTEC. A round of applause, please. And also with us, Mr. Syed Ahmad Syed Mustafa. He is the Acting Chief Executive Officer and Chief Operating Officer of Malaysian Green Technology Corporation or Green Tech Malaysia, the implementing agency of Malaysia for Expo 2020 Dubai. And of course, we have architect Serena Hijas from Hijas Architects and Planners, the firm who designed the Malaysia Pavilion for Expo 2020 Dubai. Ladies and gentlemen, we also want to acknowledge the presence of the whole Malaysia Expo 2020 Dubai team, led by Ms. Michelle Lau Sukhye, the project leader of Expo 2020 Dubai, and our lovely delegates from Malaysia. I think everybody's so serious. We should be happy because we already have yesterday was an amazing day for everybody, simultaneously having the opening of the Expo 2020 Dubai. And I think all the countries, especially me and Malaysia, Philippines, I'm from Philippines, so we're so excited and looking forward for this amazing event that will be happening here in UAE. So are you excited, guys? Yes. All right. Okay. So earlier this month, Malaysia unveiled the design and theme of their pavilion at the Expo 2020 Dubai. And just this morning, Malaysia officially commenced the construction of the pavilion through a groundbreaking ceremony at the Expo 2020 site. And ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon, we are honored to have our guests talk more about the groundbreaking ceremony. So without any further ado, I would like to present and welcome His Excellency Muhammad Hasril Abdul Hamid, the Consul General of Malaysia to Dubai.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good afternoon. Thank you, Madam MC. First of all, I would like to convey the apology from our ambassador, His Excellency Muhammad Tariq Sofyan, for not being able with us this afternoon because he need to attend to urgent matters. So he just departed Dubai to Abu Dhabi. Therefore, I will be reading his speech and allow me to begin. Yang berbahagia Dr. Muhammad Nur Azman, Deputy Secretary General of the Ministry of Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change Malaysia, Tuan Syed Ahmad Syed Mustafa, Acting Chief Executive Officer and Chief Operating Officer of Green Tech Malaysia, Madam Serena Hijaz, Principal Hijaz Kasturi Associates, members of media, a very good afternoon to everyone. I thank all of you to be present here for attending this press conference. Earlier this morning, we had an auspicious groundbreaking ceremony of the Malaysia Pavilion, which is designed with the rainforest canopy concept. Once built and operationalized, it provides the avenue for Malaysia's participation in Dubai Expo 2020. The Malaysia Pavilion will carry the theme, Energizing Sustainability, reflecting Malaysia's commitment, direction, focus in sustainable development. Dubai Expo 2020 could be a platform to expand and consolidate further ties of the two countries, Malaysia and UAE. It also serves as a testimony to the two countries abiding and close historical ties, sharing common understanding on the various international and regional issues. The recent exchanges of high-level visits by Sri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong and the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, His Highness Muhammad bin Zayed, in the middle of this year could pave the way for both sides to look out and identify potential areas of business cooperation and government-to-government collaboration. 3 cabinet ministers since then had made the working visit to Abu Dhabi, participating in various conferences including the World Energy Congress and the World Road Congress, as well as looking at possibility of how Malaysia could harness artificial intelligence in the legal system. The UAE is currently Malaysia's largest trading partner among the Gulf Cooperation Council GCC countries. Bilateral trade was valued at 5.8 billion in 2017, with the UAE re-exporting US 3.5 billion worth of Malaysian products to the global market. UAE imported USD 2.7 billion worth of values of products, namely jewelry, electrical and electronic products, palm oil and palm oil-based agriculture products, and processed food from Malaysia in 2018. For the period of January to August 2019, total bilateral trade between Malaysia and the UAE recorded at USD 3.679 billion, or in ringgit Malaysia's 15.415 billion. Therefore, Malaysia needs to leverage on Dubai Expo 2020 to further consolidate and expand its presence in the country and in the region. The UAE could serve as the gateway to the Middle East and Arab world, as it is ranked top in the region in terms of ease of doing business. Ladies and gentlemen, Malaysia is very proud and excited to join more than 190 nations at Expo 2020, as we recognize the opportunity the Expo presents to us to showcase our leadership in many sectors as well as display our culture and diversity. The Malaysia Pavilion will embody the trailblazing story of Malaysia, worth sharing with international audience here at Expo 2020. This is very much in line with the Expo 2020 theme, Connecting Minds, Creating the Future. As Expo 2020 will be the first ever held in the Middle East, North Africa and South Africa region, Malaysia's participation provides an excellent opportunity for us to connect and share ideas with 190 participating countries and million visitors from all over the world. 2020 not only marked our participation at Expo 2020 Dubai, it also coincides with the year we are hosting the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Leaders Summit. As such, Malaysia understands that only by working together, we can obtain a sustainable economic prosperity with all nations and regions. This has also been reflected in the newly launched Malaysia's Development Blueprint of Shared Prosperity Vision 2030, which aims to develop a fair and equitable distribution of economic development at all levels by 2030. This Shared Prosperity 2030 reaffirms Malaysia's continued commitment in implementing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development SDG 2030, which already implemented under the 11th Malaysia Plan. In tandem, basically this is in tandem with the next chapter of development towards becoming a competitive and inclusive high-income nation. I look forward that together we leverage and take the opportunity to do business with not only the UAE and the region, but also the world during the Dubai Expo 2020 and beyond. Malaysia could explore potential areas of cooperation in the fields such as agriculture technology, renewable and clean energy, halal industry, and tourism, as well as in the artificial intelligence. As Expo 2020 Dubai will also coincide with Visit Malaysia Year 2020, and it is a perfect opportunity for Malaysia to attract UAE people and expatriates working in this country to visit Malaysia. We will welcome them so much. The upcoming Visit Malaysia 2020 will be held with renewed vigor to bring out the best of Malaysia has to offer to the world in a single, even-path year. The presence of Air Arabia, which is the Middle East and North Africa's first and largest low-cost carrier to our shores, will enhance more tourism traffic from Sharjah in the UAE as well as from Iraq, Egypt and other Gulf Cooperation Council markets. Air Arabia is currently flying daily from Sharjah to Kuala Lumpur since July this year. And this is one of our efforts to make Malaysia a premier destination for travelers from West Asia and hopefully boost tourist arrival during Visit Malaysia 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, on a final note, let me thank you again for your presence for this event. Let us make Malaysia's participation through the Malaysia Pavilion at Expo 2020 a success, showcasing Malaysia's unity and amid diversity while striving to achieve sustainability with a shared prosperity. Thank you so much.
Thank you once again, His Excellency Consul General of Malaysia to Dubai. Can we give a round of applause once again, please? All right, our next speaker, we would like to call on, he inspired us again and discuss important matters about the Malaysia Pavilion, Expo 2020 Dubai. So our next speaker is the Deputy Commissioner General of Malaysia's participation in Expo 2020 Dubai and the Deputy Secretary General of MESTEC, a Ministry of Government of Malaysia that is responsible for sustainable energy, green technology, renewable energy, energy conservation, and environmental remediation. Let's all welcome Dr. Muhammad Nur Azman Hassan.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good afternoon. His Excellency Muhammad Hasril Abdul Hamid, Consul General of Malaysia to UAE, Tuan Syed Ahmad Syed Mustafa, the acting CEO of Malaysian Green Technology Corporation, Ms. Serina from Hijaz Architects, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually very delighted with my team to be here today to celebrate this morning the groundbreaking of our first Malaysia Net Zero Carbon Pavilion at Expo 2020 Dubai. We have been broken ground this morning at the Expo site and laid out shovels on the soil where our rainforest canopy pavilion will rise as part of the much anticipated Expo 2020 Dubai. The first World Expo in the MENASA region, or the Middle East, North African region. Set to break records as the world's greatest show, this important milestone will be the jewel on the crown in Malaysia-United Arab Emirates relations and will serve as a bridge to welcome the whole world into our new home in Dubai on 20th of October 2020. Just 364 days from now. Ladies and gentlemen, it will enrich our bilateral relations with the UAE as we embark on this journey together, and all the nations that will convene and descend in Dubai a year from now, touching several chords, namely business and trade, culture, architecture, environment, social relations, government, food and cuisine, entertainment, science and technology, and a myriad of different sectors. A whole new world opens up to collaborate, connect, and make powerful actions together, bringing all cultures under one roof over a period of 173 days. We foresee great outcomes such as the Eiffel Tower in the 1800s, the typewriter in Philadelphia in 1876, the color TV in New York in 1964, and new modern inventions that will be marvels for years to come. We are as excited as kids on Christmas morning to this day to come. We have come a long way since the first World Expo in London's Great Exhibition of 1851. That is more than 100 years ago. Fast forward to 2019, our participation at the Expo 2020 showcases our fundamental belief in human ingenuity and creativity, aligned with the Expo's theme, connecting minds, creating the future. We have a knack to create new things, marrying the ancient with the contemporary. Together, possibilities for creations are endless, our potential is limitless. We find solutions to pressing challenges of our time by offering tangible and actionable results. The Malaysia Pavilion. The Malaysia Pavilion will be situated in Terra, or the Sustainability District, where we invite you to wander through a dense forest, enchanted by nature's flora and fauna. Learn how trees communicate through their roots and stand in awe as how nature has from the beginning protected all of us and our role in taking care of her. It's not too late for us to save the world if we each take one small positive action a day. Our theme is, as such, energizing sustainability. Again, energizing sustainability. Respecting and living in harmony to create a sustainable future for all Malaysians, where we hashtag it My Butterfly Effect brand campaign lives up to the sustainable theme. The butterfly effect, the one that I'm wearing as a pin on my jacket right now, the butterfly effect is the idea that small things can have non-linear impacts, flipping its wings and causing a typhoon. The symbolic meaning portrays one small act of kindness towards Earth and towards one another can have a huge impact on the entire ecosystem. If each of us flaps our own wings, imagine that if we have wings, towards the right direction, we can produce a better tomorrow for our children and their offspring. In fact, the Net Zero Carbon Pavilion of Malaysia, a first in our history of joining expos, aims to offset the carbon emissions during its construction by massive tree planting activities in Malaysia. So we're going to plant back trees to offset carbons during the operations and construction of the pavilion. This is a national initiative in line with Malaysia's efforts to reduce our carbon emission by 45% by the year 2030 relative to our baseline emission of the year 2005. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need some collective efforts in doing this towards achieving sustainable world. And as such, Malaysia does not only support sustainability but also calls for strategic and smart partnership with countries in the world to take bold and transformative steps to shift the world. Together with renewed thinking and renewed actions, our small positive changes can result in significant desirable outcomes. Thus, the premise of Malaysia's hashtag My Butterfly Effect campaign from Astana 2017, the first when we used this theme or this campaign, to Dubai 2020 to encourage and empower us in inspiring a sustainable world for all. One key focus of our Expo 2020 participation is to reinforce trade and investment. Malaysia is targeting about US dollars 2.5 billion in potential trade and including investment value. We are also targeting 1,000 business deals or business leads and 20 memorandum of understandings or partnership agreements to be signed during the whole 6 months or 173 days from October 20th, 2020 up to April 2021. We are also looking at 200 Malaysian companies participating in Malaysia Pavilion from across and various fields, including sustainable agriculture and agri-commodity, to energy, science, technology and innovation, environment and climate change, including also culture, tourism and youth and education, e-commerce and ICT, trade and fourth industrial revolution, women and community development. Thus, our Malaysia Pavilion provides excellent opportunities for world business communities in business and in business partnerships. We welcome cooperation from various stakeholders, governments, businesses, multilateral organizations, educational institutions, research communities, NGOs, and even amongst the public. The Ministry of Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change, or in short, MESTEC, which happens to be the longest name of a ministry in Malaysia as of now, being the lead ministry and Green Technology and Green Tech Malaysia, which is the implementing agency on behalf of the government, is mandated to expand the adoption of innovation and sustainability across all sectors through high-level strategic initiatives and international platforms, and we approach Malaysia's participation at Expo 2020 Dubai as one such important avenue. We are coordinating and collaborating with several parties to offer Malaysian companies expanded opportunities at an incredible venue globally here in Dubai, recognized for thriving trade, technology and tourism. The Malaysia Pavilion, how was it designed? Our winning architecture firm, Hijaz Architects and Planners, won the heavily contested design submissions with their brilliant concept and design. The Rainforest Canopy, again, the Rainforest Canopy Pavilion touches the ground lightly, inspired by Malaysia's oldest rainforest, Taman Negara in the state of Pahang. So Malaysia, we have 13 states, and one of the states is Pahang, where we have this Taman Negara or National Park. It is Malaysia's premier national park, estimated to be over 130 million years old. We wanted the Expo visitors to experience nature, living among the thick foliage and canopy of trees, depicting our Malaysian tradition of nipa huts built on stilts, made with lightweight and natural materials. The sustainable architecture looks like it is floating on air with a meandering river as the groundscape journey into the pavilion. The design focuses on energy efficiency features such as photovoltaic, natural ventilation, LED lighting and water efficiency fittings, just to name a few. I would like to thank some of the sponsors also here who have come on board. Helios, for example, in Malaysia, Helios Photovoltaic, Julius Manufacturing Sdn Bhd, Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture Malaysia, and many others that we are in talk now. We invite you all to visit the Malaysia Pavilion a year from now, and to visit our beautiful country with our Visit Truly Asia Malaysia 2020 campaign. Delivering the world-class pavilion in UAE is not an easy task. We are deeply grateful for the strong support of the UAE government, our Malaysian government and relevant agencies for this project, as well as the generous donation of our sponsors. Today's ceremony marks another milestone as the project enters into the construction phase. The lead construction company is Cube Integrated Malaysia. Their representative is also here. I wish it all the best, and like every one of us in Malaysia, eagerly looking forward to its early completion and opening. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
That was an inspiring speech from Dr. Muhammad Nur Azman Hassan. So thank you very much. One round of applause once again, please. And now we're going to show you some of the highlights of the groundbreaking ceremony that happened earlier this morning. Amazing. Now I become more excited when we started this one. Anyway, and now we would like to share, we'll have more of these ideas, and we're also going to share the rest of the photo and video to the media, so you can share in your respective publications. And now we would like to share a video of how exactly the Malaysia's net zero carbon pavilion looks like. And I'm also curious and very excited to see, so let's watch this. Right, so we're just having some technical difficulties because I think the impact of the energy we are having right now is so powerful, and really I'm so all right, it's here now.
Sustainability is the theme selected for the Malaysia Pavilion at Expo 2020 Dubai, one of the largest global events in the world, welcoming 25 million visitors and 192 participating countries. Malaysia's theme will capture our commitment to balance progress with environmental concerns. Our Malaysian Pavilion is creatively inspired by the crown canopies and overstory structures of the rainforest. The design of the pavilion reflects the symbiotic relationship between the natural habitat and human settlement. The canopies take an organic shape, mimicking the rainforest treetops, and follow a winding pathway as if taking a journey along a meandering river. The pathway is intertwined with activated open spaces, with the groves of columns casting shadows on the ground and green pockets. This stimulates movement and creativity and gives our visitors an experiential impression of a walk through a Malaysian forest. We have conceptualized 4 creative canopies to identify the areas. They are Energizing Today, Energizing Tomorrow, Energizing Harmony, and Energizing Business. Energizing Today focuses on Malaysia's achievements and our leadership profile, a result of our strong, progressive national policies and technological advancements. Energizing Today is about Malaysia's present and future commitments to ensuring sustainable development, which is pivotal to our nation-building vision. Quintessence is symbolic of our growth and evolution. It uses state-of-the-art CGI, projecting 3D graphics and moving images to mesmerize visitors with stories of Malaysia's achievements and progress. Luminescence is about our position in selected industries. These successes are visually captured in halo beams, with 3D hologram projections illuminating creatively from above. Energizing Tomorrow paves the way for future generations, leading them towards a high-income nation, highlighting smart manufacturing, innovations featuring advances in research and development, disruptive technologies, Islamic finance and halal development. Canopy 6 and 7 culminate in a smart integrated network vision. This emphasises on Malaysia's capability to achieve a sustainable future through our national policy on Industry 4.0, our low carbon cities framework and National Climate Change Centre. Energising Harmony will demonstrate the multi-ethnic aspect of Malaysia through an amphitheatre. The strength and beauty of our country lies in our unity, diverse culture, inclusivity and harmonious relationships, truly embedded into the fabric of our nation. At the cafe, tantalise your taste buds through Malaysia's diverse culinary experiences and bring home a Malaysian souvenir from our cafe and retail areas. In energising business, trade and investment will be Malaysia's key focus for Expo 2020 Dubai. We intend to use this global platform to showcase Malaysia's leadership qualities in selected industries, our potential and capabilities to increase and encourage investment, our exports, and to reinforce our bilateral relations between all nations. The Malaysian Pavilion will be a net zero carbon building, one of the first ever to be designed for the Expo 2020 Dubai, planting trees and supporting forest conservation for carbon neutrality. Other sustainable features of the pavilion are cross-ventilation using hair fans to enhance air movement, self-shading and green landscaping, photovoltaic and water efficiency initiatives. In essence, the Malaysia Pavilion will display Malaysia's inclusive approach, our desire for change, and our goal to create and build a better country for the people. We believe the Malaysian Pavilion for Expo 2020 Dubai will truly energise sustainability. The Malaysian Pavilion, touching ground lightly.
There you have it. Now it's all in my mind and in my heart about the hashtag. What is the hashtag? Anyone remembers? Hashtag my butterfly effect. Is it correct? Alright, so amazing. It was amazing. I'm so excited. I'll make sure I'll be the first person to visit. Since I'm a part of Expo 2020 House of Volunteers, I'll be there. So there you have it. That was a brilliant idea, and everyone excited to see this really in reality. But of course, I'm sure you are also curious, who is the person or the team behind this exceptional pavilion design? So let us call on architect Serena Hijas of Hijas Architects and Partners to come on stage and share to us the idea of her inspirational behind the rainforest canopy design.
Hi. I'm not quite sure there's much to say. I think everybody said everything actually. So anyway, good afternoon to you. I don't look very much Malaysian, but I am truly Malaysian in every form. Probably have 7 types of blood running through me, from Chinese to Indonesian to Malay to a little bit of Indian and of course a little bit of Mat Saleh, they would say. His Excellency Muhammad Hazril Abdul Hamid, Yang Berusa Dr. Muhammad Nur Azman bin Hassan, and Tuan Syed Ahmad Syed Mustafa. Distinguished guests, members of the press, and ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot that's already been said, and perhaps, I think the Malaysian government wanted something truly original, and we were honored to enter into the competition. And there was about 15 people who entered into this competition. And the brief was quite a thick document that came to us. And the idea already there was energizing today, tomorrow, and business as part of connecting minds and the Expo in terms of connecting minds and creating the future. But where we took it quite differently, and I guess to seem a little bit different from another pavilion that probably calls itself the Rainforest Canopy, we didn't take ourselves literal in that sense. We were symbolic embodiment of this concept of the rainforest canopy, or in the canopy of trees, as it would be. And we took this concept further by energizing sustainability, because sustainability, we think, is a very, very important topic. I think globally and across the world, we're all talking about the climate crisis. And I myself am quite involved with Malaysian Green Building Council. And energy efficiency is just not enough. And so we wanted a pavilion that would not only be an embodiment of where we are in Malaysia now, but something that would actually inspire us. And so when we developed this, we took on some issues that were, I can't move forward. I am pointing that way. Next. Press next. I can't seem to get there. So yeah, obviously this Creating Minds, Creating the Future was and is Expo Dubai's theme. Next. But the theme given to us by the Malaysian government was Energizing Today, Tomorrow, Harmony in Business. And we felt the only way to do this next would be through the synergy with nature, because nature really is our strength. Malaysia has 55% rainforests. I have to say that I'm pretty proud of that figure, and that we've made a commitment to maintain 50%. And there's been a lot of talk about palm oil and sustainable plantation. Malaysia has taken that quite seriously, and we also wanted to embody that concept within, and that exhibition on sustainable plantation will be part of it next. But balancing energy systems and going forward in the year 2030, all of us are making commitments to an energy reduction, and Malaysia itself is making a big commitment in terms of 20% in terms of solar, and at the moment we're at 2%, so that's a big leapfrog that we have to do in the next 12 years for us, or 11 years for us to actually reach a 20% reduction, in order for us to all make a global commitment of a 1.5 degree temperature difference next. And so the story of carbon came into it. Whilst we could probably just say it's a net zero energy building, we wanted to basically make an impact on footprint on the building and take the story of sustainability a bit forward. Reforestation and restoration is very much part of Malaysian story. There's a lot of examples happening, and there's a big commitment of not just the 200,000 trees that we're going to be putting in the ground, not putting in the ground, conserving for this pavilion, but going forward there's also a bigger commitment of about 10 million trees. I'm not here to speak on behalf of the government, but I think I'm quite proud in terms of our commitment that we're making next. Sustainable plantation we've spoken about, because there's a lot of criticism about it next. And so somehow jumped a little bit in terms of our thing. But our concept of in the canopy of trees was a reflection that we wanted to touch the ground lightly. I think this concept of lifting up on the ground above was the idea that we made less impact. So it was as symbolic as much as it is derived from the concept of building on trees. I mean, a lot of people say that, you know, Italians, when I went to Italy, the only thing they could remember about Malaysia is Sandokan. I don't know if any of you are Italian, but apparently there was this this animation story of Sandokan done by Italians, and we still live in trees. I think if we're going and taking climate story very seriously, we will know that actually building above the ground, and as we have the water rising, may not be such a bad thing as we go forward. So borrowing something from the past and building something that looks fairly futuristic and touching the ground lightly was the strongest point of the concept of this building. We are building lightweight. The entire building is built in steel, and the reason for building in steel is so that we can reuse the steel as soon as we decommission the building. What's great about this sustainable story for this time Expo is as much as you're constructing now, you're accountable for it. There is a minimum requirement of 20% reduction in terms of sustainability and energy. But after you finish, you're to decommission your building completely. And so our building built in steel, we can reuse all components of steel. It's lightweight. And that was the reason for it. And we're using FSC timber on the building facade itself, sustainable timber, and the idea is also reusable. The columns that you see in front of the building are a symbol of trees. We will actually be lighting it like fireflies. So yes, it seems to be somehow gone backwards in some of our slides, but go back a little bit. Go back. Okay, so go forward one. All right. Our Malaysian tradition of building on stilts was probably part of the inspiration of building touching ground lightly. Next. And this idea of canopy of trees and the excitement of inside the trees itself. So it's not symbolic that we're going to see a whole jungle out there, because if we were going to do that, it was going to take up so much water, and water is scarce in UAE. So we were taking the metaphor of that idea. Next. And as you can see, we have these trees of columns in the front, which will be lit up like fireflies. And if you've been to Malaysia, in the mangrove, which is one of the greatest carbon sinks, is also where you will see the fireflies. And our minister wanted that represented. So later on, we are thinking about whether we will make a gift for these columns with the firefly concept of being lit up into one of the parks in Dubai. But this is something that we are considering. So we are considering the afterlife of the pavilion as much as we're considering the concept of the building. So this is some of the images from the top. It has solar voltaics, it's lifted off the ground, a series of 4 pavilions. Inside there, a series of what we call 8 exhibition canopies inside, or 7. The meandering river that you see inside the concept is really this pathway to get up into the pavilion itself. So you will see a bit of landscaping, a bit of the amphitheater, a bit of the cafe as we're going up. So it's not like you're just stepping into an envelope. We just wanted to give this narration feel of the journey into the building. Next. And as you've seen earlier, the story of the layers. We are going one level down because we have the business, energizing business in this component. Next. And we have started to change a little bit of the story inside. We are looking at projection mapping and things like that. And so you see the cube that's lit up, and we're looking at the possibility of using the phone as part of your projection mapping. So as you're going through, you will basically see something through, you will download something from your phone, and part of your phone will tell the story of some of the exhibits that you're seeing. So it's actually an interactive feeling that you're going to get through that. Next. Story of the reforestation is again quite contemporary and symbolic. Next. Quintessent, which is a cube that basically is CGI and lots of stories in that. Next. And there you have it. Touching the ground lightly, the Malaysian Pavilion.
Thank you very much, Architect Serena, and we are so delighted to know about the design, and it become more exciting. And I am so excited. Really, I will request the Expo 2020 to put me in the Malaysian Pavilion rather than in my own pavilion. Anyway, so Visit Malaysia 2020, bring out the best of what Malaysia has to offer to the world in a single event packed here. The year 2020 holds a special place in the heart of all the Malaysian as they reflect and celebrate all the success and challenges in transforming one colonial land into a thriving, multicultural, dynamic country. And please welcome, I would like to present to you the official song video for the Visit Malaysia. Malaysia is paradise, so let's all visit Malaysia. I will book a ticket immediately and go to Malaysia. Alright, so this is your chance now to ask questions to our guest speakers. The floor is now open for all your questions, but we would like to ask everyone to remit of the Malaysian Pavilion participation only questions, please. Who would like to go first? Anyone?
Sorry, I have a sore throat, so I won't be able to convey my message properly. But I have a couple of questions. One is, what is the estimated time of completion of this project? And how many trees for this particular project? You were saying that it will be some trees will be planted in Malaysia. So how would be the number of trees for this specific project you will be planting? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. May I know your name and
Your good name, sir, and which PBM?
My name is Naushad. I'm from, I represent Travel Trends International. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the questions. For the first question, maybe I will also ask my colleague to help me out for more details. But for the first question, so we're going to have start the construction before the end of the year, sometime in November or December. So the team of the architect planning design is here, together with the construction company and the partners are here today and this week to go through some details of going through that process. And the construction will take roughly about 6 to 7 months, and we would like and we're able to think that we'll be able to hand it over or complete it by June next year, June or July next year. So that's the timeline that we're talking about. And for the second question, when Ms. Serena was explaining that how the initiative to actually plant the trees, conserve forests, and so on. So we are actually in the midst of finalizing the numbers, but the number of trees to be planted or forests to be conserved will depend on the finalization of the calculation, which will include the operation phase, where how much energy that we're going to use, that we're using, and then the embodied carbon within the components or the what do you call that, materials that we will be using for the construction, as well as the construction process. So Mr. Serena was saying up to 200,000 trees. But yet again, stressing here that we are finalizing the numbers, but it's not going to be in hundreds of trees. That's not going to cut it, isn't it? It's going to be more than it's going to be in 1,000 numbers. So maybe we may be able to see how this to be finalized within the next, at least for the operation and the construction. We have estimated a good number of them, less than 26,000 trees. Yes.
Maybe I clear that. So at the moment, we've calculated already the embodied energy of the material for the construction, and we've calculated already the energy utilization during the operations of the pavilion at 26,000 trees. The amount of trees for carbon for the construction is yet to be calculated because we're going to go through the construction stage right now. But the government has allocated up to 200,000 trees. So we don't think we're going to hit that kind of number. We're just allocated that for now. The building itself is 26% energy efficient and has 10% renewable energy already for the building itself. So we've already done the first thing, which is being energy efficient, then providing some renewable energy, and then the last stage is just to offset some of the carbon.
Yeah, from my side, there is one question to you. Yeah, first of all, it was an amazing team to be selected, the canopies of the Malaysia. My question is same as related to you. I think the architect has mentioned that the decommissioning of the pavilion after the expo. So how much it will be reusable or renewable once it's decommissioned?
Up to 30% of the materials will be used because apart from the ground, which is basically concrete, everything else is in steel. So all the steel is going to be recycled or upcycled, if you like. And so that's the major part. The solar panels, obviously, we're looking for upcycling solar panels because they are operationally it's only up there for 6 months. And yeah, any of the audiovisual material that we're using is also we're looking also for reusing that. So that's where we are.
There will be no e-waste on it.
E-waste storage.
Yeah.
We are doing waste. That's part of Dubai Expo anyway. So the waste during construction will be calculated as part of economic energy. The waste during operation is also calculated in. So we are collecting all the waste as part of the Dubai Expo requirements. They actually have very, very high standards on sustainability for this Expo.
Anybody else wants to? All right, to go on this side. Can you just state your name and which publication?
Good afternoon, my name is Gemma. I work for Aviation Guide and Air Cargo Update. My question is, how much money is the Malaysian government willing to spend for this pavilion? And what gains are you hoping to achieve with this? Thank you.
I mean, I can't really say for sure, but it's going to be worth it because we're targeting good return out of this project. But I can't say we have not disclosed any information. I mean, so unfortunately, I can't really address that question.
More questions, please.
Good evening, Malcolm Dias from Global Supply Chain. Actually, I have a two-part question. First is it relates to the pavilion. What's the composition of the pavilion going to be? Not in terms of material, but in terms of, say, participation by companies or the government of Malaysia. What will the composition be inside the pavilion? And secondly, I'm curious to know, what's the level of interest in Malaysia for Expo 2020? Private sector, government, public sector, and also in terms of visitor numbers, or estimated visitor numbers. Thank you.
Okay, for the first question, the companies that we are looking at are diverse, focusing on 6 clusters that we're focusing on. So the clusters are spread out through the 6 months, which include the one that I mentioned in my speech, trade and fourth industrial revolution, education, youth, agriculture, and commodity, and so on. So we're looking at for the 6 months to fill up with a good spread of companies representing Malaysia's achievements, successful progress, and future endeavor of around 200 or so companies. So these are coming from. We have also on board with us together, MESTEC, as the lead ministry, in total 18 ministries that are helping out together to make this event or this program that we're participating good to 18 ministries out of close to 30 already. So these 18 ministries represent the what do you call that? The social economic development and our future focusing on shared prosperity initiatives in achieving equitable distribution of wealth and protecting the sustainability. So 18 ministries on board, 12 companies are targeting on 6 clusters. So that's the first question. The second question, the interest of what's our interest in investing into this project. So we are going to target for, the Dubai visitation is targeted to achieve 25 million. So in our case, the Malaysia Pavilion alone, we are targeting 1 million visitors. 1 million visitors throughout the 6 months, and as highlighted also, 1,000 business leads, some 5,000 delegations attending forums, networking seminars, and so on. About 1 million visitors to our pavilion. Okay.
Thank you.
We'll take one more question. Anyone? All right. No more wants to raise any question? Okay, so this will be our last question.
Okay, John McAvoy from Big News Network. Obviously a very unique building, and it'll take 6 or 7 months to construct, and it'll be in operation for 6 months. What will happen to it afterwards?
Well, I think we've designed it so that it can be completely decommissioned. So we're looking for, as I mentioned before, all the audio-visual components to be reused. So that's whether we're going to be giving it away to our own government in terms of schools and all the rest of it. In terms of the steel, we are basically, the idea of the steel is it can totally be taken down and it can be reused. So we're not looking to ship anything back basically to Malaysia, because I think the cost of construction and the cost of decommissioning it, it's not actually worth taking it all the way back. So the timber, we're looking to recycle that, and the steel, we're looking, and the steel poles, we're looking to see whether we put that, whether we take that back as part of the feature that goes into a park, or it's in a park in Dubai itself as perhaps a gift, but that's still under consideration. So we're looking at the entire supply chain from the beginning. So once we kick off we have already done the kickoff. When we say we finish in July, that will be the shell and core, and then the exhibition component starts to be constructed internally, just the fit out, until the date will be open in October the 20th. So we're already discussing the process of the decommissioning, even at the point of starting the construction. So I think that's the first. Learning from our last experience in Milan, we looked at the kit of parts and everything being able to disassemble itself and move out, but the actual cost of construction is quite low, so it's not actually worth to take it and ship it. And part of the carbon story, shipping it all the way back, is also not part of the good carbon story. So I think we're trying to look as holistic as possible. I'm not saying we're perfect, we're just trying to look as holistic as possible.
Okay, so that closes our questions and answers. So thank you once again to our dear media partners and to all our speakers. We are all looking forward to the successful construction of the Rainforest Canopy, the Malaysian Pavilion at the Expo Dubai 2020. Can we give a round of applause once again? As we close this event, may we all be reminded that we are all in this together, in creating a better future through sustainable development. Take care, everyone. This is Evie, your host for today. So we have some refreshments outside, so for you to have. Thank you. So we can have photo op first. You see? Thank you.